Welcome back to Dating Tips with Martin. I'm Martin, and let's get back to exploring some of the great mysteries of the world of dating and relationships. Today's question came up a bunch over the last couple weeks and is pretty straightforward, but can be a really tough one to answer. How do I know if my relationship has become toxic? The truth is, relationships can start great with heart eye emojis and everything seemingly perfect and then become unhealthy. Sometimes it happens over time and sometimes it happens in the blink of an eye. Here are a couple of thoughts. 1, are you afraid? There's a verse in 1 John, yes, there are more than one John in the Bible, that sums it up perfectly. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear. If you're afraid in a relationship, that's a sign it's become toxic. I mean, that can be fear of any number of things. Fear that you can't be honest. Fear that their anger will get out of control. A fear that they might hurt themselves if you left. Which leads to the next thought. If you or they can't exist without the other one, it's gotten toxic. It's totally okay to be in love. Love's like the best thing. But a healthy relationship involves two people who are complete, independent people, and being together brings the best out of each of them. But when your identity becomes more about another person than yourself, it's not a great sign. 3, if one of you is trying to control the other, that's toxic. Real love doesn't try to control the other person. It doesn't try to make them dress a certain way or act a certain way. If you feel like your boyfriend or girlfriend wouldn't be with you unless you do what they say, that's toxic. And vice versa. Don't be that boyfriend or girlfriend. If you can't like them for who they are, that's your problem, not theirs. 4, if you're being passive aggressive or not communicating with your significant other, that's toxic. You should be able to communicate, whether that's snaps or DMs or texts or on FaceTime or in person. If you're not being honest with one another about what you're feeling, that's not good. And if you're throwing shade about the person when you're around other people, or they're doing that about you, that's not healthy. If you're feeling bad about yourself, that's a toxic sign. Love builds one another up. Your boyfriend or girlfriend ought to bring out the best of you, and vice versa, not the worst. If you're constantly worrying if you're good enough, especially because they're making you feel not good about yourself, that's a toxic situation. Lastly, if it's not bringing you or them joy, that's unhealthy. If you're constantly wondering when it'll be over or how you can get out of it, just make it over. Healthy relationships have two people who both want to be in them. So I hope that helps, and I can't wait to see you back next time to answer more questions about dating and relationships here on Dating Tips with Martin.